Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning in once again to another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's topic, I think that Greg Roman is going to be here for another year. Yo, listen, I'm going to be real with y'all. A lot of people think I'm trolling, people thinking I'm coming at this wrong. No, listen, unless we get rid of Harbaugh, there is no guarantee that we're getting rid of Roman. None. The same, I want to remind you, I reiterate this, I want to say this strongly, the same strength and conditioning coach that caused a lot of injuries happening in Baltimore, that was the reason for the COVID outbreak, was never fired. Oh, y'all didn't know that? No. They just moved him somewhere else, but he was never, ever fired. And this is why I try to tell people, like, people think I'm trolling or, oh, Greg Roman's no way to get back, you know. No. What we've seen, and this is being real, if we have Lamar Jackson, you give him a better receiver next to Bateman, dude could be number 3. You give him a dominant defense, we can win a Super Bowl. But we have to win one in spite of Harbaugh. We have to win one in spite of Greg Roman. And the funny thing is, like I brought up Lamar, now you are trying to see what I was trying to tell everybody before, right? Because all the teammates are coming out and saying what I was saying, right? That he's been fighting to get back, everything else. Yeah. So without further ado, I'm actually going to read some of the quotes from his teammates that Jeff Zebrick had got today because they're cleaning out their lockers. So I'm going to read some of these and let's get started in some of these quotes. Campbell, who you know, one of the guys that were one of the ones that were speaking like, oh, I want him to play, changed his tune really quick, Calais. And I read, Calais Campbell also was highly supportive of Lamar Jackson, saying it wasn't for a lack of effort that Jackson didn't return. Jackson said he rehabbed with Jackson and he was working hard. Duh. Oh. And yes, if y'all did not know, Calais was one of them that were mad that he did not play. They saw him working, but I'm going to keep going. Mark Andrews on Lamar Jackson. I hope that he's going to be back. That's my guy. I have nothing but love for 8. Hear me well on that. Everybody loves Lamar. The problem with the Ravens they are refusing to pay him what he desires. And people say that they have to guarantee the contract. No, they could prorate it. You could give him $231 million guaranteed and make the contract $260 million. Give yourself some wiggle room, right? But you refuse to do that. But whatever. So, I know everybody's heard of the J.K. Dobbins coming out, talking about if we had Lamar, we would have won. And then he came out today and said they took that out of context. I was just saying, I wish Lamar was there and stuff like that. And here's the crazy thing. That's why this whole thing is funny. Because Lamar never quit on this team. He never missed a training set. None of that. He was going to all the practices and working his tail off, right? Working his tail to get back on the field. Lamar was even hopeful to be back for this game. And I tried to tell you, he was throwing. Like he was limping around, trying to give it a go for throwing. The problem, listen, and I keep saying this to people, we live in a world sometimes now that you're faulted for being a genuine person. Hey, yo, that's a bar. We live in such a toxic society that you will be hoodwinked, lied upon, cast aside if you are an honorable person. And Lamar Jackson's work ethic, his determination to win, was never a problem until his contract year. And the Ravens made it that problem. And this is why it's a problem in the grand scheme of things, because now you're having teammates coming out in support of Lamar. My honest opinion to this, because there were some teammates that really wanted him to play and were mad that he didn't, is because they know more now than ever that this team, no matter how good a defense they play, will not go unless Lamar Jackson goes. Because you have to understand something. That submarine over the top, Lamar's not going over the top. And there's a couple plays where Huntley was caught. Lamar's not getting caught on some of those plays. He's not. He's not. I keep trying to tell people, like, there's levels to this. Lamar is a top 3 QB in the league. A lot of people just don't like the way he plays. They don't like the way he looks. So they make assumptions, and it's already been programmed in their mind from the time he was drafted that he's not a true QB. But here's the thing. I'm hoping on the Heavenly Father above that this man decides to come back to Baltimore. Because I want you to understand, everyone's like, no. Everyone's saying, he has to come back. They can franchise tag him. I'm going to stop you right there, because I'm going to break all this down. There's going to be a lot of videos. There's going to be a lot of breakdowns. If they franchise tag him, for one, he doesn't have to sign it. And two, he still doesn't have to play. So you'll still be paying him a king's ransom for a player that's that won't play. He could do that. I'm not saying he will do that. I'm saying that this is what could happen. And you're like, well, we'll just trade him to the highest bidder. That's not how that works either. See, this is the worst one. At least the other way, they have a little bit of leverage. This one, they have none. Because no team is going to trade a king's ransom for him unless he says he's willing to do a deal with them. You understand? So if we say, we'll trade him to the Texans, I'm not saying that they would. I'm saying I'm giving out a bad team. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to see him do well, so we'll trade him to a cesspool place where we know he won't have any success, but they'll give us the most picks for him. You know what I mean? Let's say the New York Jets. If he says, Jets, make the trade, that's fine. I'm not signing with you. The Jets won't do it. Because no one's going to give up 2, 3, 4, 5 first-round picks for a rental player. So this is why, like, if you've watched this show since it started, since its inception, or been watching me on Twitter, my stance has never changed. Lamar, what the Ravens did by waiting so long is making sure that they're paying more money and giving Lamar more power. That's what waiting does. You give the player more power, and you're ending up paying them more than you originally would have. I want everyone to understand this right now if you do not know this. The Josh Allen deal, the one that they didn't want to give him, is now a discount. The Patrick Mahomes one, the one everyone's going crazy for, is now a discount. Dak Prescott's amazing deal is now a discount. We're not talking about defensive ends. We're not discussing cornerbacks. We're not even discussing wide receivers. We are discussing the faces of the league. The rules work a little differently for them. You're not understanding that? Look at Dak Prescott. Look at Aaron Rodgers. The rules are different for quarterbacks. And we need Lamar back. Lamar, listen, that's why that sentence puts this whole thing into a bow. Because I'm telling y'all, do not be scared, but I'm telling y'all, there's a strong chance Greg Roman can be back. Harbaugh does not fire people like that. I think he fired like one coach since he's been here. One. It's a very strong chance Roman could be back next year or the year after. It's a very strong chance. And everyone's like, Nitro, you are tripping. There's no way. What would you say? What would you say if Greg Roman 2-year extension came up on your screen? right? You'd be like, oh no, what's happening? Is it really real? There's no way. Oh God, save us. That's why I've argued with so many Raven fans saying that we need elite players. Because his coaching staff ain't going nowhere. At least John Harbaugh's not going nowhere. That's a guarantee. But then you need players that can outplay the scheme. I'll say this too. Mark Andrews is a good piece. He's not the foundational piece. He's just not. He's not. He's not. And now everyone's hoping that we get a DeAndre Hopkins. We're hoping that somehow we can figure out a trade for DJ Moore or somebody else, even though they just got signed. Even those deals will eventually, after the next 2 years, be discounts. Look at the deal that we were looking at about, I forgot the receiver that went to the Jaguars, who he played amazing too. He got 1,100, almost 1,200 yards receiving on like 80 catches, 86 catches or something like that. Christian Kirk. Everyone's like, oh, why would you pay for that? That's a discount now. He's only paid like number 15th or something like that in wide receivers. And that's a deal right now. That's a bargain. A bargain for a 1,200-yard receiver. So this is up to the Ravens to stop being cheap. This is up to the Ravens to do whatever it takes to quell the raging fire that is the bridge that is burning between them and Lamar Jackson. Because make me be very clear of myself right now. We do not win. Not even 8 games without Lamar. If you guys need a glance, think about the last 5 games. Our entire defense was healthy. The only other 2 receivers you could say, oh, would have been out there is Bateman and who? Duve. What did we do in those games? You get where I'm coming from? So I'm at the point now where I'm just looking at it and saying, look, I just want Lamar back. Lamar makes magic happen. And if he's given a proper receiving core, meshed in with a J.K. Dobbins, meshed in with a Mark Andrews, meshed in with a Bateman, with this defense, then we won't be winning 1 Super Bowl, guys. The question won't be if we can win a Super Bowl. The question will be how many will be coming to Baltimore. And that, my friends, is a very good problem to have. And that was another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Hey, look, guys, man, you guys are so great. We're over 800 subscribers. Please give yourselves a hand. You guys have been amazing people, man. And I love you guys for it. Thank you so much for the love and the support. But listen, we got big fish to fry because we got big aspirations. We will not stop until this platform is a top 10 platform on all media platforms. Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. So, if you have not done already, and if you're first time watching this channel, please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I do comment. Everyone that follows me understands that I comment, and we have great dialogue in the comment section. Just please remember, please be respectful to one another. That's all I'm asking. That's all. And if you would like to help out the content monetarily, right, there's a QR code at the bottom of the screen, and it will take you to a CashApp that you could donate cash funds to the platform and to the show. That's $TheWunderkind Show. So once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nitro, signing off. And you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I'm out of here. Yeah.